the gap between the rich and the poor has persisted for generations and continues to grow wider, fueling economic inequality and social disparity. While some individuals rise above their circumstances, the system often appears to be rigged to keep wealth concentrated at the top and poverty entrenched at the bottom. The mechanisms behind this phenomenon are deeply rooted in systemic, economic, and social structures. In this video, we explore 7 critical factors that explain how the rich stay rich while the poor stay poor, leveraging financial instruments and investments. One of the most significant reasons the rich continue to amass wealth is their ability to leverage financial instruments and investments. Unlike the poor, who often rely solely on wages to make ends meet, wealthy individuals have the means to invest in assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, and private equity. These investments not only preserve their wealth, but also allow it to grow exponentially through compound interest. For example, a wealthy individual may invest in a diverse portfolio of stocks that yield significant returns over time, while a middle-class or low-income worker struggles to save enough for basic needs, let alone investments. Moreover, the rich benefit from exclusive opportunities that are often inaccessible to the poor. Hedge funds, venture capital, and private equity funds are typically limited to accredited investors who meet strict wealth and income criteria. These high-return investment vehicles create an environment where wealth generates more wealth, compounding their financial advantage. The poor, on the other hand, are often stuck in a paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, with little or no savings to invest. Additionally, the rich have access to elite financial advisors, accountants, and wealth managers who ensure their assets are allocated effectively and protected from unnecessary risks. These professionals help them optimize their investments and navigate tax-efficient strategies, something that the average person cannot afford. This systemic advantage allows the rich to stay rich, while the poor remain excluded from the tools that build wealth, tax advantages, and loopholes. Taxation systems worldwide are often structured in ways that disproportionately favor the wealthy. The rich benefit from numerous tax advantages and loopholes that allow them to shield their wealth from heavy taxation. For instance, capital gains, the profit earned from investments, are typically taxed at lower rates than wages. This means that a billionaire earning millions from investments may pay a lower effective tax rate than a middle-class worker earning a salary. In addition to lower capital gains taxes, wealthy individuals and corporations often exploit tax havens and offshore accounts to minimize their tax liabilities. Countries like Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, and Singapore offer favorable tax laws that enable the rich to hide their wealth and avoid paying taxes in their home countries. While governments attempt to crack down on these practices, the rich can afford legal experts who help them navigate these complex systems and protect their wealth. Trust funds and estate planning also allow the rich to transfer wealth to their heirs with minimal tax burdens, perpetuating intergenerational wealth. On the other hand, the poor and middle class often bear the brunt of tax systems through payroll taxes, consumption taxes, and property taxes, which consume a larger proportion of their limited income. In this case, this disparity ensures that the rich continue to accumulate wealth, while the poor struggle under the weight of a tax system that disproportionately impacts them. Inheritance and dynastic wealth. Another significant factor in the persistence of wealth inequality is the role of inheritance and dynastic wealth. Wealthy families pass down their assets, properties, businesses, and investments from one generation to the next, creating a cycle of privilege that is difficult to break. Children born into wealthy families benefit not only from financial inheritance, but also from social and cultural capital. They have access to elite education, influential networks, and privileged opportunities that set them up for success. For example, heirs to family fortunes often have the advantage of starting their careers with significant financial backing, allowing them to take risks, start businesses, or invest in lucrative ventures. This financial safety net ensures that even if they face setbacks, their wealth remains intact. In contrast, individuals born into poverty face an uphill battle, often working multiple jobs to fall back on. The concept of born into wealth highlights the structural barriers that prevent social mobility. While hard work and talent can occasionally lead to upward mobility, the reality is that generational wealth provides a significant head start that the poor cannot compete with. The rich essentially create dynasties that maintain their wealth and power across generations, perpetuating inequality, political influence, and policy shaping. Wealthy individuals and corporations wield immense political influence, which they use to shape policies that protect and enhance their wealth. Through lobbying, campaign donations, and other forms of political engagement, the rich can ensure that laws and regulations align with their interests. For example, they often advocate for tax cuts on the wealthy, deregulation of industries, and policies that favor corporations. This influence extends to shaping public opinion through think tanks, media outlets, and political action committees, PACs. By funding campaigns and initiatives, the wealthy can sway elections and ensure that policymakers prioritize their interests over those of the general population. This results in a political system that often perpetuates inequality rather than addressing it. On the other hand, the poor and working class often lack the resources and time to engage in political advocacy. Their voices are underrepresented in decision-making processes, further entrenching their disadvantaged position. This imbalance in political power ensures that the rich continue to thrive, while the poor struggle to make their voices heard. Lack of access to education and opportunities for the poor. Education is often touted as the great equalizer, but in reality, access to quality education is heavily influenced by socioeconomic status. Wealthy families can afford to send their children to elite private schools, hire tutors, and invest in extracurricular activities that enhance their college applications. In contrast, low-income families often have limited access to quality public schools, and their children may face challenges such as overcrowded classrooms, underfunded facilities, and lack of resources. The rising cost of higher education further exacerbates this divide. While wealthy families can pay for college tuition without taking on debt, low-income students often rely on student loans, which can take decades to repay. This debt burden limits their ability to save, invest, or build wealth, creating a cycle of financial struggle. Furthermore, the lack of access to internships, mentorship programs, and professional networks puts low-income individuals at a disadvantage in the job market. Even when they obtain a degree, they may face systemic barriers such as discrimination and unequal pay, making it difficult to achieve upward mobility. Psychological and cultural barriers. The psychological and cultural factors associated with wealth and poverty play a significant role in perpetuating inequality. Wealthy individuals often grow up with a mindset that encourages risk-taking, long-term planning, and strategic thinking. They are taught to view money as a tool for creating more wealth, which influences their financial decisions. In contrast, individuals born into poverty often face a scarcity mindset, where immediate survival takes precedence over long-term planning. The constant stress of financial insecurity can lead to decisions that prioritize short-term needs over long-term goals. For example, a low-income family may choose to take out a payday loan to cover immediate expenses despite the high interest rates because they have no other options. Cultural norms and societal expectations also play a role. In many communities, the idea of wealth is tied to hard work and meritocracy, leading to the misconception that the poor are solely responsible for their circumstances. This narrative ignores the systemic barriers that limit opportunities for upward mobility and reinforces the cycle of poverty. The role of globalization and economic systems. Globalization and modern economic systems have contributed significantly to the widening gap between the rich and poor. While globalization has created new opportunities and markets, it has also led to the outsourcing of jobs and the concentration of wealth in multinational corporations. The rich, who often own these corporations, reap the benefits of globalization through increased profits and market expansion. At the same time, workers in low-wage communities face job insecurity as industries move operations to countries with cheaper labor. This has led to the rise of precarious work arrangements, such as gig work and temporary contracts, which offer little stability or benefits. The poor are often trapped in low-wage jobs with no opportunities for advancement, while the rich continue to profit from their labor. Furthermore, the capitalist system itself tends to concentrate wealth at the top. Corporations prioritize shareholder profits over worker welfare, leading to wage stagnation and rising income inequality. Without significant structural changes, This economic system will continue to favor the rich while leaving the poor behind. The persistence of wealth inequality is the result of a complex interplay of systemic, economic, and cultural factors. The rich leverage financial instruments, tax advantages, and political influence to maintain their wealth, while the poor face structural barriers that limit their opportunities for upward mobility. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach that includes education reform, tax policy changes, and greater economic equality. Only by challenging the systems that perpetuate inequality can we create a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.